what better way to start off a new series than to talk about the latest and greatest from CSX, the EMD and Progress Rail SD70ACe-T4, or what CSX calls the ST70AH.
In the mid-2010s, the U.S. government enacted the EPA Tier 4 emission standards to help combat air pollution. Railroads at the time were just beginning to wind down from their mass GEVO craze that took the railroads by storm. EMD, now Progress Rail, which is a subsidiary of Caterpillar, was lying dormant in the U.S. market after the SD70ACe did moderately well, and was beginning to focus more on export engines. EMD and GE would again restart the age-old rivalry when GE introduced the ET44AC, which is a Tier 4 compliant version of the Evolution Series ES44AC. The Tier 4 GEVOs did quite well, and even now are still being built for BNSF and CPKC. EMD would begin prototyping a new 4-stroke 1010J series engine on the demonstrator SD90-H Mac number 91 for the new locomotive, which, unlike the 2-cylinder whine of an EMD engine, would sound much more like the rival GEVO-12 engine used in the ES44s. EMD would take the blueprints of the SD70ACe and added a brand new EMD 1010J series engine, a new body, individual axle control systems that allowed the engine to have unparalleled levels of tractive effort, new computers for the engine, and a newer, sleeker cab design incorporating the teardrop windows of earlier SD70 designs and a more rounded nose roof. This new locomotive was built in 2015 in Muncie, Indiana, and was unveiled to the world as EMD X1501 at the Twin Cities Railroad Expo in Minnesota. Although previously slated for a 2017 release, in 2016, they began testing with every major Class 1. The Tier 4 Aces would immediately start their lives on UP, with UP ordering 90 units, and while many railroads tested them, they never really saw a reason to buy them since the Tier 4 GEVOs were still on delivery. As for CSX, in 2019, they leased 10 Tier 4 Aces, giving them heavy ballast, and would rename them to the ST70AH. CSX would roster these units from 8900 to 8909, and they would begin their lives down in the Bone Valley for testing, and then gradually, they were allowed to roam the whole system. The Tier 4 Aces would go on to pull many trains over their lives, ranging from intermodals to coal trains, and while it is widely known that the CW60AC and SD80 Mac had the highest horsepower on the CSX roster, for whatever reason, EMD decided to give the Tier 4 Aces enough tractive effort to move the sun. Officially making it the most powerful locomotive on the CSX system, allowing it to pull heavy and long trains. Unlike the CW60AC, the Tier 4 Ace never really had any issues with wheel slip or ripping trains apart due to the smarter computer systems. Although the CSX Tier 4 Aces were well liked by both crews and rail fans, in July of 2023, their 4-year lease was up, and CSX returned the Tier 4 Aces to Progress Rail. Shortly after, Ferromex would lease a fleet of Tier 4 Aces, some of them being ex-CSX, and would again be pulling mainline road trains, albeit this time in Mexico, where some still remain, with their CSX heritage still rolling on.
Stop right there!
Hey, post-editing Buck here. So, it looks like Lake State Railway actually got ex-CSX Tier 4 Aces, so yeah. The CSX ST70AHs are powered by the EMD 12-cylinder 1010J series engine that produces 4,600 horsepower, a 4-stroke cycle, 3 turbochargers, a dynamic braking force of 105,000 pounds, a Bourne stroke cycle of 10.4 by 12, air start capability, and multi-unit capability. They have a maximum RPM of 1,000 and can produce 3.4 megawatts of power alone. They have a GM CA7A main alternator, an ISO 8528 main generator, 6 inverter-driven traction motors, and 6 traction motor blowers between the locomotive frame and the 6-axle HTCR-6 trucks. They have Model 26L Westinghouse air brakes and a Nordbremse screw-type air compressor. The EMD Tier 4s have a ridiculous starting tractive effort of 200,000 pounds of force and a continuous tractive effort of 175,000 pounds of force, again making this the strongest locomotive on CSX in North America as a whole. They have a fuel tank capacity of 4,800 gallons, 486 gallons of lubricating oil, 325 gallons of coolant, and a sand tank capacity of 55 cubic feet. With a weight of 214 tons, a wheel diameter of 42 inches, a gearing ratio of 85:16, and a turning radius of 29 degrees, this allows the Tier 4 Ace to reach a top speed of 75 miles an hour. They are 76 feet 8 inches long, 15 feet 11 inches tall, and 10 feet 16 inches wide. The CSX Tier 4 Ace comes with the K5 LAM air horn and a K2 air horn on the very back for long hood operation. They also have the E-bell. Here are some examples. The ST stands for the SD series Tier 4 compliant, 70 for the model number, and AH for the AC traction and heavy ballast. Unlike the normal sound of an EMD, due to the nature of the engine, the CSX ST70AHs have more of a GE sound to them. The front windows were actually based off the EMD FP45 windows, and the ST70ACe Tier 4 has the same tractive effort and derivative of the engine as the SD90MAC-H, essentially making it an SD90 in a modern trench coat. A pretty neat new feature of the engine is the double-walled fuel injection system that increases safety and provides simplifying maintenance works. While the ST70AH is no longer on the CSX system, it was beloved by railroaders and rail fans. The locomotive continues service and leaser service, showing that EMD can still make great locomotives in the modern age of railroading, and reminds us rail fans to catch every train we can, as we never know when that specific model of locomotive will no longer be roaming our local rails. Thanks for watching. And as always, stay safe out there on the high iron.